Tonight on News 3 New Mexico, we have updates on housing prices.
More rain or sunshine? Find out in my full weather forecast.
And we also have highlights from the Melrose vs. Fort Sumner girls basketball game. News 3 New Mexico starts right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Landry Senna. Lubbock voters have approved a measure aimed at outlawing abortion in the West Texas city. The move is likely to draw a lawsuit from opponents who say it is an unconstitutional ban on the procedure. Residents voted Saturday to declare Lubbock a sanctuary city for the unborn. According to the unofficial results from Lubbock County, the proposition was approved with 62% of the vote. The city council last year rejected a similar proposal over concerns that it would be unenforceable and tie the city up in costly litigation. It's unclear when the ordinance will go into effect. Elizabeth Holt has been arrested on charges in connection to the drive-by shooting in Clovis, New Mexico Sunday. According to a criminal complaint filed Tuesday in Curry County Magistrate Court, obtained by the Eastern New Mexico News, an officer responded to a call Sunday afternoon in connection to a possible stabbing and drive-by shooting. He was informed of a records check of a vehicle suspected to be used in the drive-by shooting. Holt assured officers she would not be in any video footage of a drive-by shooting. Holt's GPS ankle monitor put her at the scene, as well as home security footage showed her in the vehicle in question with a hand coming out of the passenger's window, followed by 5 muzzle flashes. She's currently being held on charges of shooting at or from a motor vehicle and felon possession of a firearm or destructive device. City administration announced that starting today, North Boston from Lime Street to Spruce Street will be closed to traffic May 5th through May 7th for road work. The city asked residents to please take an alternate route. Please follow traffic control and watch for workers in the area. Drive safely. Well, Scott, this week seemed to be a little bit warmer, although we did have some rain, so that was a nice surprise. But what can we expect for the rest of this week?
You know, Landry, it is starting to warm up again, and it is a very pleasant surprise for what we're expecting for summer. But if we take a look at our maps right now, we can see that our current temperatures are actually looking pretty good. We have a combination of 80s and 70s, quite a bit of the higher 80s down in the southwest, 86 in TRC, as well as Las Cruces and Alamogordo. And we're going to keep seeing those beautiful skies for the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, back to Landry at the desk.
New Mexico's population is expected to decline with consequences for public spending and services, according to a new assessment of demographic trends. The report Thursday from the legislature's Budget and Accountability Office adds to indications in the 2020 census of a population slowdown and suggests that schools and universities may want to plan accordingly. As a result, economic development officials are marshaling tax incentives to attract new employers to New Mexico, which has a relatively weak economy and poor national rankings in education, health, and safety. Demographers project a steep drop in school and working-aged residents and a drain on rural areas. For decades, oil and gas has been a commodity for New Mexico, generating billions of dollars in revenue for the state each year. During the pandemic, the value of fossil fuels to New Mexico has remained unchanged as the State Land Office reported continued high levels of production and revenue from extraction on state land. But New Mexico Commissioner of Public Lands Stephanie Garcia Richard told the Carlsbad Current Argus that the resource was finite and would run out eventually. Of about 1.6 million acres still open for lease in the Permian, the State Land Office reported 1.4 million acres were not land that would sell at top market price. In April 2019, there were $1.3 million in bids, while the April 2021 sale only generated $361,916 in bids. It's not because of a decline in demand for the land, Garcia Richards said, as the April 2019 sale offered up less land at 878 acres compared with 2,018 acres this year. According to Garcia Richard, there are less tracts of land that companies want to drill at. A New Mexico judge has ordered education officials to provide computers and high-speed internet to students who still don't have them in a landmark ruling that for the first time in the state has set a standard for internet speeds for public school children. The decision comes to combat the internet barrier for children who were mandated to remote learning. The Public Education Department has worked hard over the past year. On the Navajo Nation alone, over 6,000 laptops were distributed and 1,250 were added and 380 miles of fiber optic cable was laid. State officials have estimated a full extension of the state's broadband system would cost around $5 billion, larger than its entire annual education budget. Stay tuned for weather with Scott after this break, but first, here's a look at today's financial markets.
Welcome back, Eastern New Mexico. I'm Scott Haas, and this is your full weather report. So, taking a look at our satellite and radar, we can see that there is quite a bit of precipitation in the Midwest, making its way down east to spots like Chicago and Illinois and spots like that. What does that mean for New Mexico? Unfortunately, not a whole lot. As we can see, the only precipitation we'll really be seeing is going to be in the most upper northeast side of the state. However, for Portales, we will not be expecting any precipitation. The only thing we really can be expecting this week is probably a little bit of wind speed. Speaking of wind speed, so as we can see, as of today, we are expecting about 10, maybe even 20 miles per hour of wind. However, once we move into Thursday, we can see it pretty much just goes through a little rotation. However, we're going to still be staying through the 10 to 15, maybe even 20 mile per hour winds. And then wrapping it up on Sunday. Just kidding, we're going to take a look at some of our current temperatures as 66 in Raton, 69 in Clayton, and 83 in Tucumcari. Taking a look down to the southwest, 86 in TRC, 80 in Silver City, and 86 in Las Cruces. And taking a look down to the southeast, we can see 85 in Clovis and Portales, 89 in Roswell, and 84 down in Hobbs. Now taking a look at tonight's lows, we can see 52 in the capital of Santa Fe, 60 in Albuquerque, and 55 in Santa Rosa, 62 in TRC, and 60 in Socorro. Moving to the southeast, we can see 54 in Clovis, 56 in Portales, and 58 down in Hobbs. All right, and now taking a look at tomorrow's highs, we can expect to see a very high 92 in Alamogordo and Las Cruces, 89 in TRC, and 87 in Silver City. And we'll wrap it up with the southeast once again at 78 in Clovis, 80 in Portales, and 83 in Hobbs. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast for the lovely city of Roswell. As we can see on Thursday, we'll be expecting 84 and 89 on Friday, 91 on Saturday, going down just a little bit to 84 on Sunday, but we can expect to stay pretty consistently in the 80s. Now, moving on to Portales, we can see mostly 80s for the week. We will down to 77 on Sunday and 72 on Tuesday.
Well, Scott, we're definitely getting into those summer temperatures. So I guess, would you say you're more of like a summer person or a winter person?
Unfortunately, I'm definitely a winter person.
I am too. I don't know. The hot just kind of annoys me sometimes, but it's fine. We'll be hopefully getting out of the drought season soon as well. So, but for now, that's all the weather we have for you, and we'll be back at the desk after this break. The Restaurant Relief Fund opened Monday. Restaurants and other food and drink businesses can sign up now to apply for grants of up to $10 million from the U.S. Small Business Administration. It's no surprise restaurants were hit hard, especially in New Mexico, due to the mandated closures and public health orders. The fund has $28.6 billion to be allocated. Grants can be for a minimum of $1,000 to a maximum of $10 million per business, with a limit of $5 million for each physical location. For the first 21 days, funding priority will be given to businesses owned by women, veterans, and socially or economically disadvantaged individuals. To apply, you can visit restaurants.sba.gov. Staying on the topic of small businesses, Clovis-Curry County Chamber of Commerce is holding an urgent hiring job fair Wednesday, May 12th. The job fair will be held at the Clovis Civic Center from 2 to 7 p.m. In a press release, Vincent Soul, Deputy Director for the Eastern Plains Council of Governments, said the pandemic has been very tough on our businesses and people seeking work, but unemployment benefits and stimulus payments will not last forever. Those will go away. This is the perfect time to plan your next employment opportunity, and there will be plenty of openings in a variety of fields. Employers can register for a booth through business.clovisnm.org. For more information about this event, you can visit the website provided, or you can contact the Clovis-Curry County Chamber of Commerce at 575-763-3435. 2 weeks ago, I did a story on the housing crisis in the West Texas area. Since then, the prices for new homes are continuing to skyrocket across the U.S. Because of a lumber shortage when the pandemic started, sawmills shut down production in an anticipation of a housing slump, but that slump never happened, and now there's not enough lumber. It's delaying construction of badly needed homes and complicating renovations of existing ones. For buyers, it's hiking up the prices of new construction. According to the National Association of Home Builders, the price of an average new single-family home is more than $35,000 higher than it normally would be. Industry executives expect lumber production to eventually catch up with the demand as the mills come back online. Former President Trump will not be returning to Facebook for at least 6 months. The social network's independent oversight board affirmed Facebook's decision to deplatform the former president after the Capitol riot in January. Wednesday's decision also applies to Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Between the two platforms, Trump loses direct contact with 60 million followers. The Facebook Oversight Board, which includes legal experts and human rights leaders, may reconsider the ban in 6 months' time. Facebook's leadership said it will carefully review the board's recommendations and determine its next actions. The former president put out a statement criticizing the decision as, quote, a total disgrace and an embarrassment. Trump argues that his free speech has been taken away and that the American people will not stand for it. Observers believe Wednesday's decision could set a precedent for how social media platforms are moderated going forward. Former President Trump launched his own communications platform Tuesday from the desk of Donald J. Trump that appears on his website, donaldjtrump.com. The space allows Trump to post and for his posts to be shared via Twitter and Facebook, but does not allow users to reply or engage with the posts. Stay tuned for sports with Kiki after this break. She's got a lot to talk about.
Good evening, sports fans. I'm Kitana Sapinga, and I'm excited to bring you all the latest in local and national sports. The state basketball tournament is currently underway, and the 1A girls semifinal matchup took place last night between the Melrose Lady Buffaloes and the Fort Summer Vixens. The game could not have been any more close as defense proved to be the key in this game. Let's go ahead and get into some of those highlights. Melrose gets it going down below as number 3 Haley Martin finds the open gap and lays it in for the first points of the night. The Vixens quickly respond as number 24 Casey Soltemeyer realizes she has a wide open shot and knocks it down. Number 13 Isabel Senna drives in the lane here and collapses the defense, which finds a wide open Joanna Roybal, and she'll get her name on the stat sheet. On this last scoring play of the first quarter, number 11 Keely West shows some nice post moves and makes the contested bucket. A low-scoring first quarter as the Lady Buffs are up by 1 with a score of 6-7. The Lady Buffs on offense again here as Martin's drive finds a wide-open Kai Ward for the open glass and bucket. The Vixens respond as West is intentional with this scoring opportunity and puts up the layup for 2. Back on the same end, it's Megan Oberg who displays a nice spin around and finds the glass. This will end the first half with Melrose up. The score is 13-15. The Vixens show a good transition here, and it's Emily Mack who gets the wide open 3 for her first points of the night as well. They're starting to pull away as West finds the gap and gets the bucket while also drawing the N1 foul. The Lady Buffs are finally able to respond on this play as an almost turnover finds Senna with the rock, and she'll lay this one in for 2 more. After the third, Vixens are only up by 3. Melrose starts off the final quarter as Warrior Ball finds Senna in the corner for an open look, and she'll drain this one for 3. It's a scramble play for the ball, and Senna, making a name for herself, gets the steal, and she'll go coast to coast again and lay this one in for 2. The Vixens try to make something happen, and it's Oberg who finds another open lane and gets the bucket. This shot from Senna is no good, but it's an offensive board from Martin, and she puts up the shot, and it's good, barely putting Melrose up by 1. The clock is ticking now, less than 10 seconds left. The Vixens somehow keep getting the boards, but can't get their shots to fall. It's a constant scramble, but they can't find the bottom of the net. As the final buzzer goes off, the Lady Buffs come away with the victory by only 1 point, final score of 28-29. The Lady Buffs will now advance to the state championship against number 1 seeded Roy Mascaro tomorrow at 1 p.m. What a game, and good luck to the Lady Buffs. Last Monday, ENMU's new head football coach, Ty Hyatt, had a press conference. He discussed his future plans for the program and what the process of coming to Eastern looked like for him.
This is a great day for us. It's just another layer on a very strong tradition here with Eastern New Mexico football. Today is about Ty Hyatt, our new head football coach.
I can't tell everyone how excited I am to be here. This is something that I've worked really hard for to take this step career-wise, and just really grateful for everyone and their support. A couple of things that really stood out to me on my interview about Eastern football is that this alumni, this university is very passionate about the program. But I can tell you one of the things that a lot of people know about Eastern New Mexico is that they have some of the toughest, grittiest players, year in, year out in the conference. The goal is to get to the NCAA. We won a bowl game in 2019. This is a great conference, there's no doubt about it, but we're here to compete and we want to be the best.
Coach Hyatt mentioned how welcoming the Portales and ENMU community has been to him, and he's excited for him and his wife Paige and his sons to be a part of it. The NFL draft happened last week and lots of names were called. Some of these names you might have recognized as they're pretty local. UNM's offensive lineman Tayton Saltez has an agreement for an undrafted free agent contract with the New York Jets. He signed alongside a Rio Rancho alum, Grant Hermans, who's currently at Purdue. Both athletes made it official on Saturday after the final round was over. In a phone interview with the Albuquerque Journal, Saltez said, "I'm happy to be playing with Grant Hermans. We went up against each other in high school, and now we're going to be teammates with the Jets. I'm excited." Congrats to these New Mexico natives on signing with the Jets. Playing professional football takes a lot of hard work and skill, and clearly they both have it. Since we're already talking about the draft, we might as well go over the top 5 picks. Starting off with round 1, pick number 1 was Trevor Lawrence, a very well-known name in collegiate football. Anybody who follows college football knows exactly who he is. He's the quarterback for Clemson, and he is going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Zach Wilson, also a quarterback currently at BYU, was the 2nd pick overall and was selected from the New York Jets. Looks like he'll be playing with Saltez and Herman. The 3rd pick was Trey Lance, again a quarterback from North Dakota State, who is going to the San Francisco 49ers. Breaking the streak of quarterbacks is Kyle Pitts, a tight end from Florida. He got drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. Lastly, we have Jamar Chase, a wide receiver from LSU, who's going to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's always interesting to watch these rookies in their first pro season because the transition from collegiate football to professional football can be a tough one, and it's great to see their growth as players. Congrats to all these athletes. It takes years and years of hard work to get to that level, and they have definitely put in the time. That will wrap up all the sports stories I have for you, but make sure to stay tuned, and you'll be back at the desk with Landry after this break.
Well, Scott, I personally don't have a lot going on this weekend or this week. We just know that state basketball tournament is going on. So for those that do have a lot of stuff going on, what can we expect?
Well, I gotta say, if we are looking for activities to do in the outside, I gotta say this is prime real estate weather, man. It is gonna be in the 80s or the 90s all week.
There you go.
As we see, if we take a look in Carlsbad, we can actually see a crispy 88 on Wednesday with a whole lot of sun. On Thursday, we can expect a little bit of cloud coverage, but still at 82. And then we will be revving that heat up to 91 on Friday. We'll still be seeing a little bit of clouds, though. Now, looking at our beautiful city of Portales, we can expect 88 on Wednesday with a whole lot of sunshine. Thursday, a little cloudy, but we can still be at 82. And then on Friday, we'll be jumping that bad boy right up to 91 and cloudy.
But mind you, with those clouds, we're not going to be seeing any precipitation, correct?
Unfortunately, no precipitation, but I feel like with heat that hot, it'd feel like acid.
I know. Maybe some people should start getting their pools out, getting ready for the summer weather. But that is going to wrap up all the news we have for you tonight. Make sure you stay tuned for our last newscast of the semester this Friday, as always, live at 5. Thank you for watching and have a great night.